Hello everyone, and welcome back to our village here in the Wandering Village with Mal Anu, the beautiful living mountain with the bioluminescent belly that I very much love that we are currently on. And exciting news! The villagers, this place contains some fresh food for the Ombu, does it? They've been infested with poisonous fungi. They can eat them, but will be poisoned in the process. Okay, can we maybe have her run? The Amu accepted our command to run! Oh, that's so good. I really don't want her to, like, stop and eat this, even though she's getting a little hungry. All right, that's kind of concerning that the first thing that we see as our villagers look over the edge of this giant living mountain is the fact that we currently are amongst like toxic fungus and and also there's a rain cloud coming. I mean, it's a peaceful cloud, but that lends itself to realizing there may be non-peaceful clouds, and also hopefully the Ambu will keep moving, but we don't really have a good view of that until we have a scavenger's hut, which will allow us to send out workers to scavenge for rare resources. And we definitely want to do that, and I feel like it would be a very popular very popular place that we would definitely want to, let's see, pay attention to. So let's actually get a couple of them built, because I feel like we need at least a couple scavengers headed off. So let's clear all these trees out of the way, and let's have like everybody, well, more or less everybody who can come and join in. We now have a rainstorm. I think we can tell the Ambu to go ahead and walk so she doesn't get more tired, because her sleepiness is 31. She also accepted our command again. Oh, can you imagine how exciting that would be to know that she trusts us that much? Also, the thing seems to be pinging a little bit. Is that because we're near a settlement, a ruined settlement? It would take 14 hours to get there if we had some scavengers available, and there'd be some corn. Ooh, and there's another settlement over here with people who need a safe place. Okay. Oh my gosh. And it looks like stinkhorn fungi, nauseating smell will linger and dampen the mood of our villagers. Oh my gosh, the rumors of what might be in the world around us are definitely spreading. And now here we are going ahead and trying to clear these trees out of the way as quickly as we can. 3 new nomads just came in. Oh my gosh. I feel like we have no time to be able to get used to the idea of having one group of nomads before we have another. I feel like the flop house thing, you know what? Let's just get it researched at the very least. Being able to house up to 30 villagers. We don't want them to get poisoned, and I would like to research a hut, but it just seemed like it was a good time to focus on some emergency mass housing, as suddenly I am a little more concerned with thinking about just how many people we might have. And also, how's our water tanks doing? We should be getting a lot of water with the air wells right now, because it is currently raining. And we do have people working on the air wells. Let's see. And we have 11 workers who don't have any particular job at the moment. And they're also letting us know they lack housing. I know, I'm sorry. Let's see. And these miners have nothing to gather with their mining camp being right there. Okay, let's move it over here then. Meanwhile, we are making more stone slabs. I think, yeah, the clay gathering people still have clay to gather. Thank goodness. Let's see. Our villagers' needs have now increased to 3. Okay. Probably because we need to get like homes for a bunch of people. And now with these new villagers having arrived, I can only imagine they have brought with them rumors of what we might find elsewhere around the different lands. Oh man, I hope we can get the flop house is almost done being researched, because I think we're beginning to realize, oh, we're gonna need like more space for more people at this rate. And that's probably going to mean putting in like the little flop house spot. And definitely maybe more farms, but I kind of want everybody's priority to be clearing space and getting all these, like, a lot of wood for our carpenters to gather, thankfully, but clearing all this out of the way so that we can go ahead and get the scavenger huts down. Also, it looks like, oh, these mushrooms are ready to go. Oh my gosh. There's like no time to just stop. And no, I only want harvest crops. Harvest crops. That's the only thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Cancel these tasks and then harvest crops only, please. And then I am going to want to set that to like a really high priority for people because we need mushrooms and we don't have a way to grow them at the moment. Not as high a priority, clearly, as scavenging, but... or like getting room for the scavenger's hut to go. And then what do we have here? Oh, the flop house has been researched! Because I think we're realizing, oh, there's a lot more people than we thought. We're going to need to do something about that. The mycologist also plants and harvests mushrooms as ingredients for ombu food. I feel like we would start talking about that a little bit, but possibly with more people coming, and then we're in a new area. Let's see, we could get corn planted, cactuses, tomatoes if we had enough water, but we're gonna need a lot of water to research tomatoes. I think we should research the kitchens so that we can start making better meals if we're gonna have this many people. I really want to focus on feeding the ombu as well. We're a little desperate there, but one step at a time. My goodness. Let's see. What do we have a lot of resources of right now? We actually have a lot of rocks. I'm nervous to take anybody off of gathering rocks though because we go through them so quickly. So maybe we'll take a couple people off Woodcutter's camp for just a minute. And we'll disable it for just a minute. Just so... because they're going to be cutting wood anyway. Just so we have more hands on deck to kind of clear everything out of the way. And Mawanu, hang in there. We are going to feed you too, I swear. At least people are gathering these mushrooms. I think, and they're putting them over here for now. So we do have at least some mushrooms. I guess I should be double checking to make sure there's not other mushrooms growing other places until we get the mycologist. Oh, there are some herbs, and those can be super important to gather if we want to make sure that we have at least some food or some medicine in the future. So we'll put those on high priority. Ah, more herbs over here. Okay, I think maybe with more people, there's at least a few people who have some experience and are realizing, like, here are the things that we feel the village really needs to focus on if we hope to survive. You know, clearing some things out of the way, making sure that we can go gather more tools and resources from the lands around us. Making sure that there's like a flop house built. Or at least some sort of cover for the people to stay in. Flop house, makeshift housing for up to 30 villagers. Inhabitants are more susceptible to poison due to the cramped conditions. So, it needs a lot of clay. We don't have enough clay right now. I'll add another worker to clay gathering now that the clay seems to be restoring itself. Who knows what the clay is? Is it like Ombu's skin rising to the surface? Kind of like the way that animals with fur will shed their fur. Is the clay kind of like the Ombu's shedding of fur? That sort of works from the Ombu seems uncertain about which path to take. If we could tell it to go, it doesn't trust our commands. Maybe we can convince it to like rest for a minute because we really don't want it to eat well, the nightshades just will make it sleep, and they are filling. And it looks like either direction we're going back into the mountains. I wish we could build up our trust with the Ombu, but maybe we need to offer it a treat. It's like working with my guinea pigs. You have to offer them a yummy treat before you can like win guinea pig trust. All right, so let's see. Where would we want this house to be built? I love our trees so much, but suddenly they're very much in the way when it comes to just making sure people have enough housing and like somewhere to stay. Because I feel like this could be a decent spot. And then, will you guys, have you cleared enough room for the scavenger's hut yet? Maybe? Let's see. Can I get it in over here? Oh, I could get it right there. Okay. And then, oh, we researched the kitchen. Oh, that makes me so happy. All right, so fishery catches fish only works when the ombu is surrounded by water. I mean, I would say. Let's see, the ombuologist and the feeding trebuchet. We need an ombu kitchen. We need to be able to feed the ombu to do that. So I think because we were surrounded by so many mushrooms and like toxic mushrooms, let's start researching the mycology so that we can start trying to figure out which one of these mysterious mushrooms we keep bumping into could potentially be deadly for us. And maybe we can start with like that being constructed so we can handle and grow and see what these mushrooms are made of. Maybe that is how then we can start working on, let's see, let's get this high priority, medium priority on the flop house. But maybe then we would be able to go ahead and figure out more about the ombu and have an ombuologist join us. Meanwhile, we're probably going to want dirt roads in here too, because we're going to want to get people traveling around this zone a little faster. Also, here's more of our mushrooms that we'll want to be gathering, but it's not as high a priority as, say, building the house or getting the scavenger hut up. And suddenly we need so much clay that I'm wondering if we need another clay pit. This is what happens when you start getting more and more people. But do clay pits require tools? The reason we haven't been building more of the resources to gather tools... Oh, and the kitchen definitely needs built ASAP. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna need resources for that too. Let's see. I want to keep the kitchen near the farms, I think, for sure. So let's put it right here. That's going to be a medium priority for sure. I think we're working on the scavenger's hut. We still have to clear stuff out of the way. Oh, our ombu's so hungry. Which path? Oh, good. It picked this path. I was a little worried about it picking the nightshade path, but at least none of these are as deadly as the infested mushrooms. This is why we need a mycologist. Once we can start doing research about these mushrooms, and once we can start exploring the world more, we will answer that question that is oh so essential for our villagers to be able to know. Now that we are here, now that it seems as though the very basics of essential survival are going to be at least met for the moment, no doubt our villagers are wondering, but where are we going? What are we going to be doing next? I can't believe we already researched a mycologist. I thought about the fact that we could probably go ahead and we could probably have more than one research hut. I got very excited when I realized that, but I do not think we're going to do that just yet because our researchers are really good at what they do. All right, so now that that's done, let's get an ombuologist. I don't know what the ombu notes will do, but I think you need it for some of making the ombu doctor, or being able to have like the ombu catch to store food and medicine for the ombu, the feeding trebuchet for the ombu. Now we have the mycologist. Let's see. And so let's work on the ombuologist, because we should definitely be paying attention to like the land we live on, which happens to be a living mountain. She's getting really hungry, so I think she'll stop on her own once we reach this food. And we won't have to worry too much about telling her to do that. And the mycologist! Okay, plants and harvest mushrooms as ingredients for ombu food. And the mushrooms have to be on dirt soil. So that makes me feel pretty good about wiggling in here and trying to cover as much ground as possible by removing this clay deposit. So we'll get that out of the way. Then we'll get a mycology spot built down here, I think. Is that gonna, yeah, that's gonna cover it. And we actually will go ahead and remove these rocks as well. Not super high priority because I think that'll happen naturally in the way of getting everything else out. And we might put a flop house or a house over here. Maybe even, like, it looks like there's a lot of room to be able to farm. And then people could stay over here too. Maybe have a kitchen. I can't remember exactly how to convince people to stay in like one spot for their work and their like living, but we're gonna get there. Okay, clay is definitely needed. We're going through it pretty quickly. Stone slabs are gonna be needed for a lot. I would like to make another place. Oh, will she eat? I wonder if we tell her to go ahead and eat now that we're here. She doesn't trust her commands, but I think she'll do it on her own. Come on, dear. You're hungry, right? I hope that doesn't convince her not to do it. Look at her kind of fuss about it. Oh, that's so funny. Thankfully, she will still eat, even if she doesn't quite trust our commands. And meanwhile, we're still frantically trying to get the scavenger hunt done. But once that is done, we'll be one step closer to being able to answer that essential question for all of our villagers. Oh my gosh, there it is. Yes! Allows us to send workers out to scavenge rare resources and find new villagers. She ate all of that and is still hungry. Whoa. Also, there's a ruined settlement. It costs scavenging rations, preserved food used for exploring far away, a large quarry. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know there were scavenging rations we needed to collect. What? But there's salt and iron ore. Okay, iron ore sounds super important. And we can finally send a party of people off. Oh, there they go. That's so cool. Oh, look at them fly. That's amazing. I wonder who was chosen. We'll have to check. Let's see. Oh, they don't even have names yet. Okay, good. We'll be able to name the new people, but I want them to come back alive first, which sounds bad, but they're already flying over there. That's so cool. And then, of course, we're going to have our kitchen where we can finally start turning berries into berry muesli. And I believe that will start getting stored in the pantry, which is definitely going to help us out. And meanwhile, our researchers are ready to go. We have researched the Biologist, and I feel like the feeding trebuchet seems like an important next step so that we can tell the Ombu to feed. We also need research cost. What is the research cost on being able to tell the Ombu? Huh, that's interesting. So the research cost are Ombu notes. Oh, until we have an Ombuologist, we can't figure out how to make an Ombu lullaby. Aww. And there's our scavenger sawmill. Provides wood by mining giant tree trunks more efficient than wood cutting camps. Oh my gosh. And building upgrades. Oh, that would be so useful. Oh, I want to pet the Ombu. There's also a smoking hut to make rations. Oh, it makes scavenging rations from various types of food. Okay, that so that we can go further out for other things. Food stand provides food for villagers in more remote areas. The quarry is more efficient than mining camps. But the quarry doesn't happen to be there's a brick furnace for providing clay, produces bricks from clay. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't want to jump too far ahead because I like the idea that we're learning a lot of this proactively with our villagers as we're like coming together and talking about these things. Let's get the feeding trebuchet because it's been all about studying mushrooms this time. There's also heel shrooms and rock shrooms, mushrooms that need salt to grow, turns rock solid when grown and can be harvested for stone. Whoa. All right, let's get feeding trebuchet because we've been focusing so much on researching all of these mushrooms. And let's also get the Biologist, who clearly has to live near the Ombu, which I think is quite delightful. And we'll put them over here. And maybe clear away some of the trees around here. Let's see. Just so we can see our Ombu a little better. And we can hear our Ombu a little better. And we'll have to see if people take forever to like leave. Oh good, and they've almost finished this spot so we can get a mycologist put in. Suddenly I need more villagers, but then that means we're gonna need more food. And thus begins the cycle. Oh, and we probably should build an airwell over here so that our poor like mycologist, whoever's gonna come over, of course. See, this is how it goes. Now it's like, oh wait, I definitely need, now we need an airwell over here that's gonna be useful for like making a water tank. Because although that may not immediately make sense, that's super important if we're gonna make sure that we provide plenty of water for our Ombu. And also, let's see. Yeah, we'll put the airwell here. And now we can have over here a, let's see, mycologist, so that we can study all of those mushrooms. And as we're studying them, we'll be able to go ahead and we'll be able to grow mushrooms. We'll want to store the mushrooms somewhere. I believe the mushrooms are stored like probably over, we'll put this over here. See what I mean? It takes, you start with one thing and the next thing you know, it's one thing and then another, but that's the wonders, I guess, of building a village and starting to get the chance to watch it like come to life and realizing, oh, your hornblower probably would like to have a house that's a little bit closer to everyone, and it probably would be useful for you to be able to have a little path leading to the village proper. Oh, and look at all of this. And here we have a whole bunch of the mushrooms, which we're trying to build a whole thing for. The scavenging party is back and they brought 30 salt and 3 iron ore, and we are actually moving into the mountains. Also, we need those rations if we were going to rescue those nomads. Oh my word. There's also a mine with more iron ore and salt we could send people to. Rations are needed if we want to send people even further away. And then let's send them back for herbs and more mushrooms at a forest at the edge of the mountain range. Our Ombu seems like she might be ready to sleep pretty soon. We're gonna see if we can get this flop house built so that people will have somewhere to sleep. They have been so busy clearing everything away so that we'd have enough room for everything. But, oh my gosh, we need 100 clay for the flop house. Oh boy. I might need another clay deposit gathering spot next to the Ombuologist maybe. That might work. Oh, I love it. And the feeding trebuchet has been researched. We could sacrifice a villager, but we're totally not. That's just going to be like dark legends that maybe people joke about at night, that I think a responsible party of our elders would probably say that is not something to joke about. And finally, we're going to figure out how to make the mushrooms into Ombu food by gathering up said mushrooms. It looks like we need Ombu notes to do that though. Our Ombuologist! For sure! We could also get a dung collector to collect dung from the Ombu that we're thinking what comes out of the Ombu might be full of mushrooms and goodness for the soil, right? Or feeding it mushrooms. Maybe whatever comes out the other end is really good to take care of the nutrients, free of the poisons and toxins that take over the world. And we might be able to go ahead and even turn that various foods into compost or biogas. Turn that into compost that might help our farms. And if we're going to talk about helping our farms, And we're in the mountains where we're going to start getting a lot of water. Heat resistant, high yield. Corn is very heat resistant. What if you just need something that's good in the cold? And then there's the herbologist. Let's see. Ombu catch. I kind of feel like the dung collector ironically fits for that. And maybe we'll finally do some landscaping after the dung collector. Because that makes sense that we would think about what goes into the ombu and what comes out of the ombu. And what could we do with that mix of resources. And also, hopefully we can get this flop house built pretty soon. And she's going down for a nap. Perfect. I love it. I love it. I feel compelled to do quite a bit of research on some of the weirdest mushrooms that I possibly can discover for you guys. That might result in there she goes, in some fascinating discoveries that we can listen to around the campfire as the villagers, possibly using the bioluminescent fungi that we might be able to harvest off of her belly and use as lights, gather around to trade tales of the faraway lands that they're from, and wonder about where we may be going. I'll see you guys next time. Stay curious.